Mike Tyson is coming to Canada for the very first time tomorrow night, live at the Air Canada Centre right here in Toronto, Ontario. But before he goes there, he's live in studio with us right now.
Yes, I am.
All right, Mike Tyson alongside Alex Choko, the man putting it all together. Alex, first of all, I mean, it's an honor for me to have Mike in studio here with us, but for you to be promoting Mike Tyson, what is that like?
For me.
I always, this is funny. Before I even talk, I always make fun of his name. It's like Alex Choko. It's like Alex, put him in a chokehold.
You know what? My first fight,
Yeah.
I froze. I didn't perform, and I was nicknamed Choker.
Yeah,
My
you choked,
second
yeah.
fight, I went in, and I had Victor Vargotsky in my corner, who became George St. Pierre coach. He freaking bit my ass so hard that I performed, knocked my guy out in 1 minute and a half, and then he said, "You're the shocker."
Alex Choko.
Well, let's talk about the show tomorrow night. Mike, you've now done the stand-up show a couple of times now.
Yeah, I would
How
say.
has it evolved, and have you become more comfortable on stage as time has gone on?
Absolutely. Every show is different. Depends on the audience. It's just some guys. Like if I went to Australia and it was just too crazy. Because as soon as I came on stage, it's just and there's no way they can hear what I'm saying. So I'm talking about my ex-wife, and they say, I hope she dies, and then she's up there in blank, and she's that. And then I talk about something else. Yeah, kick it, I kill him, I'm thinking, okay,
They're
come on.
passionate in Australia,
so
that's for sure.
Alex, obviously you felt compelled to promote the show. What have you've seen the HBO special as well. What have you thought of the show so far?
It's, first of all, it's just an incredible journey that Mike has had. And he basically goes on stage and says, you know what, I f***ed up over and over again. And here I am trying to become a better man. I'm a father now. And I say we take his hand and
Oh God, this
we
guy,
raise it.
This guy's totally show business over here. This guy, man.
But it's true.
But no, it's just
Everybody
about life.
can learn
I
from
was a
this.
young kid. I didn't know. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. I was just a young kid, 12 years old, when I met Cuss. And Cuss is dead serious. You're gonna be the heavyweight champ of the world. You're gonna win this. And he's dead serious. I'm thinking this. I don't understand it. I didn't. If I would have knew he was, I would have said I don't want to do this. There's no doubt. But I didn't want him to think that I was a coward or scared. But he was really dead serious. He was never like, come on, kitty, we're gonna win some trophies. No, it was about, we're gonna win this, we're gonna get the Olympics, we're gonna be heavyweight champ of the world, and that's really what it was. And I stayed focused on that goal.
Well, what is it like for you now that you've obviously reached that apex, and everywhere you go, you get a standing ovation. You have Alex raising your arm everywhere. People are taking pictures of you everywhere you go. What is that like for you now?
I live a different life now. I'm very conscious of my ego. I'm very, I know I have children. I have to take care of my children. I have a family, and so that's it was all ego-driven at first. I'm the best in the world. There's no one could ever beat me. But as now it's I got to take care of the kids. I got to make sure they're in school. I got to make sure we save this money. I got to make sure we pay these taxes. And life is just totally different now. I don't look at myself in a grand perspective like I did before. Look at me. It's all about what can we do now to improve our family? How can we help this? How can we be of service? How to make sure we don't drink today or use today? And that's just what life is all about now.
Before we went on air, Alex, you told a great story about the Hall of Fame and how Mike, at the conclusion of your acceptance speech, you said, all I ever wanted was for some of these legends to know my name.
He didn't say it there.
He said it at...
He left and just said, I can't do this.
Right.
He said it exclusively when we sat down for the interview of the book years ago. At his house.
And now, Mike, you're a hero to people the way that guys like Henry Armstrong and Tony Canzoneri, Rocky Marciano, those guys were to you.
Well, like when I think about my heroes, the majority of my heroes wind up drunk, broke, destitute, and I knew this, but I still wanted to be like them.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you wanted to reach the pinnacle.
I know I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
This is your first time, basically. I mean, you never had a chance to fight as a professional in Canada, but you came close. You were supposed to fight Razor Ruddock in Edmonton, and then you got that lung disease, right?
Well, I really didn't have a lung to get. Had too many girls, and I wasn't trained. So I said, well, I better get out of this. This looks a bit dangerous. Let me get out of this.
Did you pay a doctor to say you had a disease? Or
well, listen, I have naturally I catch bronchitis, but it doesn't affect me. I fought my championship. I always fight with my bronchitis. And, a doctor sees bronchitis, he gets nervous.
Right.
So he said, well, he has bronchitis, he has respiratory problems. I said, yeah.
You did have one big life moment, apparently, in Canada. Apparently, you used to be friends, and I think you still are friends with the Hiltons.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, the first time you ever went to a strip club was in Montreal with the Hiltons. Is that
Oh,
true?
man, yeah, I've been there in Montreal, yeah.
Oh, it was 18 to get in.
No, but I was 15
you were probably
and
younger,
16. I was 15 and 16.
St. Catherine Street's a lot of fun.
St. Catherine Street was incredible in the 80s, 83, 82. Oh, man, nothing but pinball machines. The game house, there was a bunch of game houses and stuff. You go in there and you could buy some marijuana. You go in there and get some marijuana. Go in there. It's just, it was amazing. It was like 42nd Street, the equivalent of 42nd Street in New York in the 80s.
Are you still in contact? You're still in contact with Matthew,
Well,
I think,
I've talked
too,
to
right?
Matthew, maybe last year I talked to Matthew.
He's actually, I arranged for him to come tomorrow, and we're gonna grab a bite together with Matthew and Jimmy. And you know, I'm still pinching myself. We have Mike Tyson in Canada.
This
you know,
guy's crazy.
and no, but it's all about
Alex
passion.
Choko.
It's all about passion.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
I started training at Champions Gym, and the Hiltons were like, wow. You know, first of all, they were brutes, because the minute you would spar with them, they would break your nose and hurt you.
That's how we were. That's how we were. You have to just give it your all, because
Yeah.
this is what you're supposed to do in the ring. Some guys spar easily, and then in the ring they fight hard. But you have to do in the gym what you plan to do in the ring.
Yeah.
If you don't do it in the gym,
right.
there's no way you're going to do it in the ring.
But I
That's
was
just what
15. It
is.
was my first sparring sessions, you know. But you're right. You're right. But the Hiltons, you know, they are crazy. They are known to be crazy, but they are sometimes so nice and so genuine. And for me to be able to reconnect them here in Toronto, it's going to be priceless tomorrow,
Well,
really. And then at night we have the show. It's a dream come true.
Who have been some of the other Canadian connections you've had? I understand you and Cuss were close with Arnie Beam as well, and that when you used to speak to Jimmy McLarnin a little bit as well.
Yes, that's amazing. I was in prison, and I got his number, and I was able to have somebody connect me to him, three-way me to him, and I spoke with him.
What were those conversations like? What did he say? Were you just asking him about his
I asked
history?
him about his history, about Pop Foster and everything.
Right.
Pop Foster's the one who started him in boxing. Pop Foster was a friend of his father, and he said, let me train Jimmy and put him in the try boxing. And I asked him, did you talk to Arnold Rothstein and Al Capone? He said, well, I wasn't allowed to talk to those guys, you know, because it was just bad. He really, he was the first fighter that had, that was like image clause, you know, but it wasn't no clause that he conducted himself like a gentleman at all times. He would have had great commercial deals if he was fighting today. And he was the first fighter, because most fighters, he was the only guy that wasn't a brute. Most fighters was just drinking, and like Harry Greb was his idol. And Harry Greb is just totally the different in contrast as Jimmy McLarnin. But still, he was such a sensational fighter. He was his hero.
All right, well, we want to let people know where to get tickets, but one last question. You're sort of following in Alex's footsteps as a boxing promoter yourself.
Absolutely.
And
we had some awesome fights.
Well, you put on what is perhaps the best card of the year on
Yes.
American television
We had some
with
good
Sammy
fights.
Vasquez last
Yes.
time out. I mean, is it surprising to you that you're getting the kind of acclaim as a boxing promoter this fast in your career?
I'm just happy that we're doing it without hurting anybody. You know, I won't mention names, but you know, some of these promoters, they have too many fighters, so it's really, the possibility of these fighters getting fights is really slim. You know, that's the problem. See, that's why we're making, we're into negotiation where we're making new fight venues on television, because most promoters have more fighters than they have dates. So it's hard to get these guys on television, so they got them on the shelf. And we're making it where everyone can get fights, because we have our own network now where everybody will be able to get fights.
And you know, the way Mike walks into a gym, he can see a fighter. He knows what the fighter is going to be capable of. He knows what he has to make better. He is a boxing historian. He's watched thousands and thousands of hours of true fighting back in the days.
That's all I ever wanted to do,
Yeah.
you know, when I met, because that's all I never thought about doing anything else. I never thought about playing football. I never thought about anything. I never thought about girls going, this is what I want to do. I just focus all my energy on this, and this is what I want to do.
Is there a type of fighter that you're looking for? Because I remember, you know, you didn't particularly enjoy Udell Johnson's fight in Verona, but you loved Sammy Vasquez's fight. Is there a type of fighter that you're looking for? Is it one in your mold?
Fighters need to be, the name of the game is boxing. And boxers have to learn how to hit and not be hit, but still be exciting without running around. And that's what I look for, you know. And fighting, sometimes you know, we live in a generation now where everybody has to be politically correct. But when we come to see fights, we come to see somebody hurt somebody. And to have great fights, the guys have to both want to hurt each other. You know, they can be friends afterwards, but while you're entertaining, you have to want to hurt. That's what this is. This is the hurt business, the pain game, and this is what people pay for. Regardless on what are their status, you may have somebody from the royal family come to fight, but they're fans, and that's what we want to see. It's been happening since the beginning of time, and this is what we want to see. Great fights.
It's all about making people live an experience. Whether you're watching it live or on television, if the fight is an experience, if the show is an experience, then people will connect.
You want the fans to go like this. When can I see that guy again?
Yeah.
Like they were doing with
anybody,
Mike Tyson.
With anybody that's
But it's
excited
true.
they want to see.
Well,
when can I see that guy again?
We know we can see you tomorrow night,
Absolutely.
live on stage.
Yes,
so,
you will.
Guys, tell us where we can get tickets. Let people know how they can go out to the Air Canada Center and see Mike Tyson live on stage.
Well, there's tickets on Ticketmaster.ca. It's the intimate theater of the Air Canada Center. And it's just going to be an incredible experience.
And this is something that I wasn't aware of, but I was explaining to my wife, the energy of the universe is so powerful. I have this new suit I never wore. It's yellow, and they were telling me that yellow is the color of, I believe, mental illness or suicide. Are you familiar?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm gonna wear my yellow suit because I know what it's like to be to suffer from mental illness. I'm a recoverer of mental illness. I've been to the states where I wanted to kill myself. I have everything in the world, but I just wanted to die. Also, I might break up with a girlfriend, or my prostitute girlfriend may leave me, and I might want to kill myself. Can you believe this? I may want to kill myself. And it's all about the reality is that it's a disease, and we need to go get help. Some people don't understand. It's like having a broken arm. You can't. It's not going to heal by itself. You have to go to the doctor. And most people, especially in the black community, where I'm from, they don't believe in going to get help. They believe I'm tough enough or you're weak. It has nothing to do with weakness. It has to do with sickness, and you need to get well. And so that's what, that was just happening. Sometimes people don't like to hear this talk, but that was just happening. And I'm wearing that yellow suit, but I had no idea that we had a campaign in Canada for that.
But you're a survivor, and you're going to be on the Ring magazine cover again with that as the tagline as well. We can't wait to read that issue, and can't wait to see you live on stage as well. Mike, Alex, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.